Hello, my name is David Gibb, and my research project is on the effects of cooperative activities in middle school physical education. For my abstract, here's what I put. There is a debate in modern society regarding the impact of cooperative learning in middle school physical education. This debate focuses on whether working in groups truly helps students learn and stay active. Supporters believe that cooperative learning is beneficial because it encourages students to work together and communicate as a team. That said, students learn to support one another instead of only focusing on winning or individual performance. Cooperative games can also lead to feedback from peers and not just the teacher. On the other hand, critics argue that cooperative learning might not always work well. If groups are not formed carefully, some students might do most of the work while others hardly do any work. Some might argue that cooperative learning can take away from the fitness and individual skill components of physical education, which is what people believe that physical education should primarily focus on. So that said, I did this project because I've noticed that it seems like when students aren't with their best friends or in groups, they don't tend to work as hard. And I just wanted to find out what are the effects of cooperative activities in PE. So for my summary of the problem, from previous clinical experiences and physical education classes, I have noticed an abundance of students who choose to sit out when we do an activity not associated with cooperative learning. In modern society, it seems like students will not participate unless they can work with a friend or a group of friends. Like I said, if they're not with their best buddy, they tend to not work as hard. People argue that when cooperative learning is well implemented, it enhances social skill outcomes such as communication, cooperation, positive attitude towards peers, and conflict resolution. So overall, the central problem centers on finding the right balance between teamwork, inclusion, and maintaining strong physical activity and skill building. So for my research procedures, I mainly looked at scholarly sources. Scholarly sources that provided enough information to support my argument that cooperative games in physical education can benefit students. So I wanted to see if this was like a worldwide problem, so I found a scholarly source that expressed the issue in other countries, which provides even more support to my argument. And then I found a source that talked about exergaming, which is video games that require physical activity, play socially, comparing cooperation versus competition. This provided a different perception of my argument. So for my data summary, I found this source where it talked about, it was an experimental study from Germany with 285 students in grades 6 through 9. They found that classes using cooperative games reported higher enjoyment of PE, stronger social interaction, and greater perceived competence than control groups. Then I found that source that it's a literature review on Chinese physical education that shows that cooperative learning is widely promoted by policy and is linked to improvements in motor skills, motivation, emotional well-being, and interpersonal skills, though implementation varies and often lacks full adherence to cooperative learning principles. And then I found a source where it talks about the sport education model and social responsibility model, and they highlight that when implemented with careful planning, small group structured tasks, and teacher guidance, cooperative learning enhances social interaction skills like communication, cooperation, and conflict resolution. So for my action plan, it's kind of simple. So I would just teach and practice cooperative skills before starting group tasks. And then I would introduce skills such as like active listening, giving constructive feedback, encouraging teammates, and taking turns. And I want my students to really understand this before we start any cooperative task. And by doing this, I can prevent common issues while creating an environment where cooperative learning can be successful. And for implications, reflections. So these studies matter because they show that well-structured cooperative learning can improve students' enjoyment, motivation, and social development in PE. When teachers implement small groups and guided skill practice, students feel more connected, which supports long-term participation in PE, physical activity, So researchers also show academic and social benefits, including better teamwork and communications, That said, if cooperative learning is poorly planned, it can lead to students disengaging from the unit as well as uneven participation. So in conclusion, these sources highlight potential success and challenges, which helps teachers design cooperative activities that are successful and avoid common problems. Thank you.